Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another review. The last of the reviews for the films that ClassicRocker sent me. There's some, like Human Shield, may review that one day when I do Michael Dudikoff films, but I liked it okay. Another film he sent me, White Line Fever. To be honest, wasn't really my cup of tea. Uh, the other films I reviewed, it's on my channel. I just want to sincerely thank ClassicRocker because these DVDs are great. I mean, these DVDs look great, they sound great, so I just wanted to thank them. Very kind of them to do so. These look great. And a lot of work went into them. I mean, the artwork, menus, the picture qualities are great on these. Uh, Great to have these on DVD, is what I'm saying. Got to see some pretty good films like Into the Sun and other like this one, Dark Side of the Moon. And I didn't say I liked this film, Dark Side of the Moon. Right off the bat, I liked this film. And I didn't know this film was on DVD. People say it's not on DVD, but if this is a VHS quality, it's pretty damn fucking pristine for VHS quality. This looks like DVD quality. So either this is a real DVD that I didn't know this film was on DVD, because it looks like DVD quality, or you somehow put this on, you somehow found the best looking VHS quality, you put it on DVD. I don't know. Either you did a great job, or you did a great job finding this. So either way, you did a great job. So ClassicRocker, just want to say thanks. But this is a film from 1990, and I liked it. I know my friend Mike, OCP, he liked the film. This film kind of makes me think of Event Horizon, which came out later, and of course had a much bigger budget. Has a very low budget, and directed by a guy named DJ Webster. This is the only film the guy directed. I think he directed like some music videos, but this is the only film he directed, which is too bad. I think the guy deserved to do more films after seeing this. It stars this guy named Will Bledsoe, which my friend Mike, I looked at his review. He said some people were giving this guy shit. I don't know why, because this guy was really good. Will Bledsoe as the lead guy, Giles. He's our lead guy. He was really good. I liked him. Then you have sort of the captain, played by Robert Sampson, who was, I think, Barbara Crampton's dad and Reanimator. You have Joe Turkel, who he was in The Shining, the original, the 1980, and he was also Tyrell in Blade Runner. And then you have a few other people. I have about, I don't know, 6, 7 people. And the film, I will say, one of the things I liked about this film, I thought this film was pretty well shot, and it was pretty atmospheric. I thought the cast did a good job, especially, I really like this guy, Will Bledsoe. Which is a fucking shame that he didn't do much movies after this. He was in the film Up the Creek, which I haven't seen. This was one of the last films he did. Well, actually, the last film he did, because he did an episode of New Adam 12. And then from 1991 to 2002, he was uncredited in something called Summer. Then he did a short called I Do. That's sad, because I really liked him, and I would like to have seen him in more roles like this, because I really liked this guy in this film, the lead guy. But I thought it was well directed. I thought it's a low budget film, so they didn't have much. But I mean, I would say I like films like Moontrap better and stuff like that. Yeah, but I thought the model work for the ships were fine for its low budget. I thought the atmosphere was well done. It's definitely got the dark part right of Dark Side of the Moon. But I still saw what was going on. But it definitely had a good atmosphere to it. I liked the score of the film. I thought the musical score was pretty well done. The plot is pretty out there, but I think it was a bit interesting because it was different. It was definitely different. It's pretty out there. It's definitely not. It's not a gory movie or a bloody movie. So if it's about people get killed one by one, and if you're looking for gore and stuff, you're not gonna find it. If you're looking for a lot of action, you're not going to get that either. And the ending, I agree with my friend Mike. I can see, it earned it. It's not one of those endings that made me hate the film. I just see it earning it, kind of like John Carpenter's The Thing did, which is, one of my favorite films. It's just, if I had done it, I would have done things differently, which I'll get to. But pretty much, it takes place in the future, and you have this group of people that go out to repair these satellites, which are nuclear-armed satellites. And it's a dangerous job. And one day they start getting these sparks, and they don't know what's going on. They do have an android, like Alien. If you think about it, there's about, I think, the same amount of people as there were in Alien. And you have two female, one a girl, one normal, and one an android. And you do have an android in the film. And you do have something to do with the stomach. Instead of a chest burster, it's well, I'll get to. So it does make you think of Alien a bit. But it does its own twist on it. But even though the android is saying that everything's fine, there's these sparks and there's an unexpected system failure, and they're being pulled and drifted to the dark side of the moon. And they don't know what to do, and they only have 24 hours before they run out of air, and what the hell are they going to do? All of a sudden, this old school NASA shuttle comes out of nowhere and docks with them. They don't know what the hell's going on. So they go over to see what's going on, and also they need the oxygen, so they need to get that. And I thought it was well directed. I thought the atmosphere and the score really made the film work. It's a good atmosphere. It's a good score, and the cast, everyone in the cast does fine. Especially the lead guy. Yeah, everything does fine. Everybody does fine. There wasn't like a guy who I thought, or a person who I thought was bad. It's kind of weird that the android was like in this tight outfit, and I'm like, did Mila Jovovich steal that for one of the Resident Evil movies? But it's kind of like the android. Oh, she's a female android, so make sure you put her in some tight outfits, like leather or whatever the hell it was. Well, mainly she just sits there and just answers questions. But I'm like, it's kind of weird. And picked a little bit more to see. I'll see her boobage, android titties. But that's just a little thing. I'm like, really? But the plot is pretty out there, like I said. I won't go into spoilers, but I'm going to say, if you want to watch it, stop watching this review and go find it. If you can, if it is on DVD, or I'm sure you'll find it on YouTube. But again, the YouTube quality is a VHS quality. I don't know if it worked as well as it did with me, because this is like a DVD quality, so it's not pretty sharper than the one on YouTube. But again, maybe that won't bother you. But maybe that won't bother you. But either way, the hell was I going to say? Oh, spoilers from then on. I liked the film. There's things I would have done with the ending differently, but I thought the cast did well. I thought the atmosphere and the score was well done. I thought the plot, again, it's pretty out there, but different, so it made it interesting. So if you don't want to know, stop. If you do, I'm going to go into it. So they're going around and they find this body that, I like the way it builds up, where they see something dripping onto the floor and it builds up, and they look up and this body falls, and they look at the body, and it actually has this triangle, this perfectly shaped triangle, and you're wondering what the hell's going on here. I didn't, because I saw my friend's review, so I knew what was going on. But it's like this perfectly preserved body, and the guy, I'll say the actor's name. Is it Will Bledsoe? Yeah, Will Bledsoe. Well, I thought this guy did a good job. He, asked the android questions, about, this is a NASA ship, an old that it hasn't been out since like 30 years. One has been like this has been out in space. It's like, here's some names, and when was the last time someone ever heard of this ship? And it was blah 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 blah. And he's like, that's the Bermuda Triangle. So this was a ship that something had happened and had splashed down, crashed in the Bermuda Triangle. And there was a body missing. And it happens to be that body. That all these decades later, it still looks fine. And then the girl is watching the body. Well, she's working on something in the room with the body, and it attacks her. And I swear you see like a face or something come out of the stomach, and you pretty much find out that it's sort of a body hopping type of thing. Now, it's not violent or gory, unfortunately. I think this film could have used some gore. I do feel that, like, the kills could have used some gore, because, it's a body hopping thing. I think it could have used some blood in that aspect, at least. But maybe it's trying to be more mysterious. So maybe that would. But at the same time, John Carpenter's theme was mysterious, and there's also gore as hell. So I don't know. Maybe he didn't have the money for that kind of stuff. Maybe with a little bit bigger budget. I mean, again, I would say I like Event Horizon more than this, but again, that had a huge budget compared to this. But then, this stuff's going on, but then when he gets there, he just finds her unconscious, and the body's normal on the table. And of course, people think that Will is crazy. Will Bledsoe's crazy. And one thing leads to another. They look at the other ship, and the captain. Pretty much people get not. The captain gets killed. You have a little bit of paranoia. You don't know who to trust. And the more that the guy. Kind of makes me think of Kurt Russell in The Thing when he's talking on the tape recorder, only this guy's talking to the android. And, he's learning more about the Bermuda Triangle. And she mentions how 665 ships have disappeared. And he's like, yeah, that would make sense that we're number 666. And the android goes, correct. And that sort of made some think, and something to do with the coordinates of the latitude and longitude of the triangle, the Bermuda Triangle, and each one happens to have a 6 in it. So he goes, okay, get rid of all the other numbers instead of 6, and it's 666. So I mean, the fact that they're the 666th ship to be missing, because some do like the Bermuda Triangle. It's like from there to the moon. So then they're in the same trajectory. But then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. If they're in the same trajectory, isn't the Earth always rotating? So are there times where the Bermuda Triangle's not in the trajectory of the of it of the dark side of the moon? Like, aren't we always moving? So isn't whatever. I'm not going into it. But pretty much, I'll just jump to it. You find out that what's doing this is Satan, the devil. And that it's using the Bermuda Triangle, but it also uses the dark side of the moon. I don't know if, I'm guessing he brings things from I guess he lives on the dark side of the moon. And if someone gets lost in the Bermuda Triangle, he takes him to the dark side of the moon, or somehow transports there. Because you see a shot at the end, or like it sort of. I'll get to that. I mean, I'm a little bit fuzzy on it, but at the same time, it's pretty far out. But it made it a bit more interesting than just it's an alien that's killing people one by one, and it made a little bit. It reminds me, now that I think about it, for some reason it reminds me of Sometimes They Come Back for More, because it was saying stuff only because it reminded me of The Thing, because it was in the snow and you didn't know who to trust. But it dealt with the devil and demons, Satan, and that's one with Clayton Roner. I remember not minding that film as well. So I remember not minding that flick either. Obviously, I like the ending better than this one, but it just made me think of that movie. I like that. Okay, it did a little bit different. I didn't the idea. You're like, yeah. Some people I think would laugh at the ideas, but I don't know, the way it's put, I'm like, okay, it kept my interest. I'm like, okay, it's different. I mean, just because it's different doesn't mean it's good. But I'm like, okay, all right. But pretty much, he's going off to get this thing in order to fix some stuff to get home. And you have a little bit of paranoia, and you find out one person isn't who they appear to be. Some stuff happens. I'll leave that for people who want to see the film. And pretty much it's left to two people. The lead guy and this other guy. And he realizes this other guy isn't who he says he is because the guy's, putting this cream in his coffee or whatever. But we knew earlier that this guy's actually allergic to that. So he knows something's up and he's able to put some numbers in. And sort of has a final stand against, you could say, Satan, where unbeknownst to Satan, he put some coordinates so that the rocket, the nuclear arms satellite's going to launch at the ship and, self-sacrifice. I like the line where he goes, but if it's God's will, then so be it. If not, I'll see you in hell. And goes and blows it up, and there's nothing left, so I don't know if that doesn't matter with Satan. If it doesn't matter that there's nothing left, no ship left. Because the last image is you see the dark side of the moon, you see all these old ships and planes that were probably in the Bermuda Triangle and somehow got to there. And, I mean, I like the idea behind it. It's interesting. Made it different. But you get the idea that, another ship is coming, and I'm like, okay, so this is going to happen again, but it looked like Satan looked scared when they were going to blow up. It wasn't like, ha ha ha, it doesn't matter. I will never die. He looked like scared. Does he have to start over again because this was the 666th ship? Would he have won if he got this? Does he have to start over again from square one? Or does he count to the next 666, which would be 1212 or whatever the fuck it is? Or no, not 1212. 1332, whatever the fuck it is. 666, 12, 13. Fuck, who cares? Who cares? But I'm like, I guess it's supposed to make you think whatever the fuck you want to think with the ending. Is the devil gone? And is these people being drifted because it's just the remnants of the Bermuda Triangle, Dark Side of the Moon connection? Is the Satan at the start again? Of course, when you're always dealing with Satan, you're wondering, where's God? Why ain't God doing shit? If Satan can do all this shit, why don't God come in and help? I guess that's always the weird thing when you get Satan into these movies, because you're like, okay, Satan's doing something. Why the fuck ain't God doing something? That's why I kind of like Constantine, where God did do something. And then when post Keanu Reeves and Keanu Reeves gives the finger to the devil, I'm like, okay, God's doing something cool. But anyway, I would have changed the ending to at least make it so that the lead guy survived. But I like my friend Mike's idea that God somehow would do something to help out. Or there, of course, maybe you're thinking, well, if he does it that time, why didn't he do it the other 665 times or where the hell? But of course, then you probably wouldn't have a movie. But at least let the lead guy survive. I think that's what I would have done. Is I would have let the lead guy survive at a escape pod, and then you can leave a question mark. Is it gone? Will it happen again? but at least a little bit of hope that he's going to get away, at least. And the question mark, is it gone? Is it not gone? And what I would have done is I would have had him escape in an escape pod that he's able to fix, and he's going home, and then show the remnants of the dark side of the moon, and then end. And then we can think, okay, is it gone? Is it over? Will it start again? That's up to you. That's what I would have done. But because again, I like this guy, so. But again, I'm like, it didn't make me hate the movie. But that's the one. That's something I would have changed. Well, then I would have put, for me being, I would put a little bit of gore into it as well. At least a little bit of gore in certain scenes. But overall, I liked it. I liked the atmosphere. I liked the ideas. A little bit iffy on some of the stuff. But it was definitely different. The atmosphere of the score, I thought the cast was fine. You're not going to see a lot of special effects stuff. You're not going to see gore. You're not going to see action. So don't go into thinking of that. But decent ideas. I keep saying atmosphere and score and the cast, and I like the lead guy, Will Bledsoe. Decent movie. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad to have seen it, and I liked it. Overall, I liked the film. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Want to thank ClassicRocker for sending me all these movies. It was very kind of him to do so. Didn't have to, because it's a lot of movies. I mean, hell, one movie. And this is more than one movie. I mean, look at all these movies. There's a lot of movies, and a lot of ones I enjoyed. Like Into the Sun, and Zone Troopers, Beyond the Law. I enjoyed Knights. I enjoyed Bad Blood, Human Shield. I didn't mind the Human Shield with Michael Dudikoff. May review that one day if I ever do Michael Dudikoff films. Into the Sun, I really enjoyed. White Line Fever, this film just wasn't my cup of tea. J. Michael Vincent, and you have Dick Miller and Slim Pickens and stuff, but just wasn't my cup of tea. But, again, Dark Side of the Moon, Demolition High, I did like. Into the Sun, some other stuff. Siege of Firebase Gloria. Nights, at least the third act. But yeah, a lot of good films. So, ClassicRocker, thank you. And thank you guys for watching. Take care. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.